Hey guys, welcome back to Star Wars Central with a news update today that leads me to believe we might be getting a Season 3 announcement for Battlefront 2 at EAPlay in just 2 days' time. The reason I'm saying this is based on some recent tweets from our community manager, a post on Reddit, and part of the official announcement of Season 2 on the Battlefront 2 website. And also just the fact that they've now revealed the solo content early ahead of EAPlay, which does suggest that they're saving the EAPlay livestream for something bigger and better. So for today's video, I'm going to break down all of the news we've got so far, talk a little bit about Season 3, and some other changes that might be coming to Battlefront 2, like a large sandbox-style game mode, and an overhaul of the squad deployment system. So let's get started. Now, if you saw the last video, then you'll know that they revealed the solo content for Part 2 of the solo season yesterday. We all thought that they were saving this for EAPlay, so for them to reveal it now does suggest that they have something bigger for EAPlay this year. Which I guess is some good news, because Part 2 of the solo season, whilst it does look good and the trailer was admittedly fantastic, it's just not really enough to tide us over. If Part 2 had released with Part 1 at the same time as one big update, then maybe the community's perception of the solo season would be different, but unfortunately, the reality is that one new map is simply not enough for a seasonal release. I'm afraid it's just not. Battlefront 2015, whilst it had its flaws, it did have a very strong post-release content plan, something that Battlefront 2 definitely needs to start replicating on a more frequent basis. Especially since when you think about it, the last real DLC for Battlefront 2 was the Last Jedi DLC, which released back in December of 2017. Now, to be fair, Battlefront 2 has been improving and they have been making a lot of good changes to the core game during this time. But the fact of the matter is, Battlefront 2 needs new content as soon as possible, which is where I think EAPlay is going to turn the tides around and change the direction of the game. Anyway, moving on, let's take a closer look at two pieces of evidence that point to something else, maybe something bigger, coming at EAPlay this year in just 2 days' time. The first piece of evidence came at the end of the Han Solo announcement post on the official Battlefront 2 website. Here's what they had to say. "We will share an update on what's next for Battlefront 2 at the EAPlay press conference on June 9th. Also, Extraction on Kessel will be showcased for the first time exclusively at the EAPlay FanFest between June 9th and June 11th. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. What they're saying here is that the press conference is going to focus on what's coming next for Battlefront 2, so basically future content, more likely Season 3, that sort of stuff, and the FanFest, so the event in general, is going to focus on current content and the solo season. Now, of course, we still don't know what's going to be coming in the EAPlay livestream for Battlefront 2, so we can't say with certainty that it's going to be Season 3, but I think it's pretty much, not necessarily confirmed, but pretty much assumed at this point that Season 3, or perhaps some big overhaul to the game, is going to be announced at EAPlay. The thing is, once Season 2 finishes, I think they're going to be looking to fully reveal and then release Season 3, hopefully, as soon as possible. If anyone's been following Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere where Battlefront 2 is being discussed right now, then they'll understand that the Battlefront 2 community is desperate for new content right now, and whilst Season 2 Part 2 is going to help with that when it releases on June the 12th, the reality is that one map is just not enough, and I think it's a reality that they understand as well. On top of this, if some of the leaks and the rumours are to be believed, then Season 3 is going to be Clone Wars focused and has been in the works for a very long time, which again should mean that a Season 3 announcement should reveal a lot of content and will be good for EAPlay. Anyway, next up we've got another piece of evidence, this time from the Battlefront community manager who posted this on Reddit. Here's what he had to say. "Mentioned this on Discord, but worth repeating. There's been a lot of talk about this season, but want to clarify one thing. There's a reason we're talking about this now, and not at EAPlay. See you on Saturday." Okay, if that's not proof enough that something big or at least something different is coming at EAPlay this year, then I don't know what is. They've deliberately moved forward the solo season reveal so that they've got more time during EAPlay to reveal something else. Whether that's Season 3, more changes to the game, or a new game mode, no one really knows. No one really can say for sure. I personally think it's going to be Season 3 with a Clone Wars reveal, just because we know from a bunch of data mines and leaks in the past 5 to 6 months, the Clone Wars has been in the works for a very long time now, and it would make sense that Season 3 would be the Clone Wars season. Season 1 was sequel themed, Season 2 was original trilogy themed, and so Season 3 should, by logic, be Clone Wars themed. Now, I don't think EAPlay is just going to reveal a new season. I think rather we're going to get a larger and more general update on the future of Battlefront 2. The way they worded that post on the official website as "What's next for Battlefront 2?" seems like they're leaving it very open-ended so they can discuss pretty much anything new coming to the game in the future. If that's the case, then not only do I expect Season 3, but I also think we're going to get an announcement for a Conquest or sandbox-style game mode similar to the Battlefield series and older Battlefront games, as well as an overhaul to the squad deployment system. These are both features that we know DICE were looking into and potentially working on in the past, and they've been big community requests for Battlefront 2 since before the game even released. Now, I can hold off on Conquest mode for a little longer, I'm not too worried about that, but Battlefront 2 desperately needs a complete replacement or at least a major change to the Wave-style squad deployment system. The reality is that it doesn't encourage team play, and it actively hurts players that are trying to play together in a squad. It should be removed, maybe keep it around for people playing on their own, but whenever I play as a squad, I want full squad controls when I spawn. That would really help with player retention, and it's honestly a no-brainer. It's a feature that needs to be fixed or replaced sooner rather than later, and I think EAPlay is the perfect opportunity to do this. Anyway, that's it for today's video. This was supposed to be just a quick video going over Season 3 and Season 3 alone, but I got kind of carried away talking about squad deployments and some other features I'd like to see. So if you enjoyed the video, then a like is very much appreciated. If you have any good ideas for new videos, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. I do read all of the comments on this channel, so even if I don't reply, just know that I have read it. Thank you guys so much for watching, I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.